Here they
We're
come.
here.
We
Good.
had so many people already in the waiting room. I mean, people are chomping at the bit for this topic today, Roland.
Well, that's because they love you. I don't blame them. I'm chomping at
So
the bit. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. Let's talk about
I
it.
I I think they love you too.
Oh, you're
I
very
think
sweet.
that's
Thank you. You have to say that.
so I know they do. So
Wow.
and
We got some good stuff today. Some really good stuff.
yeah, I hope everybody is prepared. If you do not have a couple of pens,
Yep.
something like, make sure you do because we guarantee you're going to get stuff out of this today.
What did you say?
Um,
5 takeaways guaranteed?
Five takeaway. It's money back guarantee is what it is.
Yeah. Time back guarantee. We won't have wasted your time.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
So, get that chat fired up, everybody. Tell us where you're from, how things are going. We want to hear from all of you. And boy, people just keep piling in here. This is great. I love it. I love it.
Good.
Keep
What
coming.
did you
Keep
say?
coming.
2 million people? Was that an
It
exaggeration?
was, it was
2 million?
yes, 2 million.
No,
No,
1 million.
yes.
No, yeah, there's Scott. There's Scott Batman, my buddy. We just chatted about half an hour ago. And there he is. Hey,
So,
Scott.
all
Nice to see
right,
you.
good. Oh, in Colorado Springs, one of my
Yeah, the
favorite
Springs.
places.
Isn't it
So
lovely?
it is lovely. It is lovely.
Yeah.
Garden of the Gods. I love
Oh,
that. And I almost died on
good.
Pikes Peak one day. So, there's
Oh, my
that.
goodness.
So
I'm glad you made it. Cindy, all right. Hey, Cindy from Virginia Beach. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. So this is great to see everybody.
yeah, keep them coming. Keep the chat is your way to communicate with us. And I'm seeing more and more people coming in. There's some others who are, they're gonna be a little late, I'm sure, but everybody's getting their lunch ready, they're getting their earbuds going, they're getting it all going. So
Right.
welcome
Scott says avoid
everybody.
Pikes Peak.
And we've got a ton. So we need to get
Yeah,
started and kick this
we
thing
do.
off, right, Roland? All
We got
right.
a big agenda to cover, so I'm ready. Let's
Okay,
talk.
well, let's go. We'll get our housekeeping out of the way, and then we'll go back to our Brady Bunch view. So I like that much better.
Okay.
Again, welcome everybody. If you are new to Head, this
Tracy.
is not a podcast. It's not a webinar. It's a
Oh,
conversation, and you get to participate in it. So the key word is you get to participate. That's why we do these live. So please chime in. We have talking points prepared, but occasionally we've seen them like go off in a different direction. So
hard
if
to
that
believe.
happens, Roland and I are very good on our feet. We can make that happen. So let's get our intros out of the way. Very quickly, my name is Kimberly Mackey. I am the host of Head to Head. I also co-host another program called Sales and Marketing Power Hour. So
It's
I do
excellent.
these every other month. I do that with my friend Carol Morgan from Denim Marketing, and we tend to focus on more leadership and marketing and market trends and that sort of thing on the other one. And here
Yeah.
we focus a lot on sales and sales leadership. So that's kind of the difference in the two programs. And this one is usually mono a mono. So my company is New Home Solutions, and you can find me at newhomesolutions.com. I like to say that people call me when they want sales to be the engine that drives the train rather than what runs it off the tracks. I go behind the scenes. I do a lot of consulting and I do training. Roland and I cross over. We actually share a lot of clients too.
Yeah.
But we cross over on the training part of things, but I do a lot of behind the scenes. I make sure your processes, your procedures, your KPIs, that you are set up for success and that so your sales can be predictable and profitable. So if I can help
Perfect.
you with any of that, give me a shout. All right, Roland, I know you need no introduction, but do it anyway,
Thank you.
just for those who may not know you and have been living under a
Oh,
rock.
I was just thinking of that Simply Red song. If you don't know me by now, you'll never, never know me at all. So, but we've both been around for so long. But thank you very much, Roland Nairnsey. New Home Sales Plus is the company. Like you, Kimberly, I'm a new home sales coach. I'm really front of office, not back office. So I work with the sales managers, some ownership, and especially the salespeople out there in the trenches. Where I get to roll up my sleeves, and we do coaching and training on site, and then role playing, and make sure that it really works. And that's about it. My book, Mastery of Selling for New Home Sales, is doing very nicely. And I just finished Mastery of Negotiation. It's at the editors. And then I'm going to have a book on big butts right here. I like big butts. So that's the third one in the queue. I would buy butt. what's going on with the economy? I would buy butts. So it's going to be all about butts and objections. So I'm excited. So
I'm
I do love
shocked you
the
didn't
writing.
start with that one.
Well, I did it on purpose because if I started with the butt book, excuse my French, the butt book, they would think I'm not a serious individual. So I wanted to prove that I knew what I was doing. So I did my sort of Bible of mastery of selling so that there's real information. So I think people will go, what's this book about butts? And then they'll go, oh, okay, the guy has some other stuff he talks about, not just obsession with big butts. So I say big butts 20 times and it's only 6 minutes into this webinar. So that's a new
Boom.
record.
Yes.
Boom.
Well,
All right.
that's what I'm saying. We knew that was coming. That I just expect that from you.
Oh, there we
So,
go.
and you know what? New home sales, you don't have to take yourself take sales seriously, but
Thank
you don't
you.
have to take yourself seriously.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sense of humor is a survival, is how you survive, right? In every economy. As soon as you get to the point where you can laugh about what's going on, you can then start coping with it and start surviving. So I've always believed in having hopefully an appropriate sense of humor. At least now it's appropriate. It didn't used to be.
So, well, what's funny is funny. So sometimes, uh, so
Yes.
let's kick this off. I
Yes,
do want
please.
to talk about market.
Yes.
So, oh no, elephant in the room. Let's get that out of the way. The market is always doing something, people. We need
Right.
to accept that. So, if the market is always doing something, I always say, so should you.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no such thing as status quo, right? You're either getting better or going backwards often.
So, traffic is, it's so weird right now. Traffic is on the websites up, but down coming into the models. We're sales are for most of us hanging in there, but starting to decline and getting harder for sure. You
Right,
got a
right.
lot of people who are nervous right now. There's a lot of uncertainty going on in the
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
So, okay, you can't control any of that.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's the same as it always was in terms of excuse me, there are cycles. I think anybody again, and it's probably an old story now, but anybody coming in, during or after COVID only knew a very exuberant market. Well, that was never that realistic. We have those peaks all the times. Now we're in something, I don't know if it's quite the valley, but it's somewhere in between. And it's stoked by a lot of uncertainty and change going on. So now's the perfect time to cope with it and recognize that this is normal. The more normal thing is to have an uneven and a bumpy market. So let's figure out how to deal with it now, because when the going is easier, you'll be even better. You'll be even more successful, but you won't be afraid of change. You won't be afraid of the little troughs that we naturally go through in any market. This one is a bit different because it's just a bit more unpredictable. It's unpredictable, not more unpredictable, but I think it's more easy to cope with it, if that makes any sense. Once we get into tactics that you and I will talk about today, I think you'll realize that you'll be fine. We can cope with this quite easily as compared to the Great Recession, which was massive and just a tidal wave that you really had to just, sit through
You
that
just had
and
to do the best you can. It was sink or
survive. Yeah,
swim. It was,
right.
I don't know about you, but I did great in 2007 and 8, and by 2009 though I was curled up in a fetal position in Q1.
Yeah, just
So
sucking
I
my
was like,
thumb. Let it be
oh
over. Let it be over. Let me survive. Let me not lose my house. And quite literally, yeah, I lost rental properties and stuff like that. It was just awful. So, and so many builders suffered. But this isn't that. This is just normal bumpy times in an economy in the home market. So let's not fret. Let's use it. Let's embrace it quite literally. I know I say buts a lot, but I want you to embrace the butt of the market's uneven and really, this is the time to shine. This is the time where you're going to prove to, if you're a manager, you're going to prove to your owner that you know what you're doing. If you're a salesperson, you're going to sell in spite of the market and get really, really good at selling in difficult, hard to difficult markets. And when the market gets good again, you'll be even better. You'll have those skills. Let's not get
you know
complacent.
a lot of our sales teams right now have come into this market since 2019.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just want to
You
tell
can't
you,
blame them.
it's not your fault. You have never experienced a normal market.
Right.
Now you are, though. And so,
Yeah.
as Henry Ford says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're
Yeah.
right.
Right.
So let's think we can, because you can. You can totally
Yeah.
do this. It's
Right.
not hard, but it is work.
Yeah, no. So I wrote, as you know, and this is sort of initiated our topic today. I wrote a white paper a couple of weeks ago and a blog to go along with it about work it out before it becomes a workout. So I was talking about showcase homes inventory that was piling up, and let's work it out and get it sold now and learn those tactics before it goes any further. But also, I love your webinars, but I listen to a lot of podcasts. There's a fellow called Ed Milet, or Ed Milet, I think you pronounce his name. And he's like a bit of a Tony Robbins kind of guy, but he has a daily podcast that I love. And he talks about desperation. He's talking about the context in life, but he says desperation can actually be good because it causes you to really focus. And so I don't mean desperation like we're on a ledge, but desperation like, oh my gosh, what's going on in the market? Leads are bumpy. My sales are down. I'm not hitting goal. I have a bunch of move-in ready showcase things piling up. Well, focus. Now is the time to really focus and get it done. The opposite of desperation sometimes is complacency. And so when rates are 3% or 3.25%, it's like, it doesn't matter what we do. We can't stop buyers from queuing up and buying our homes. So I don't know that we really get better at what we're doing. So again, I'm a big believer that I think I've been through 5 or 6 uneven markets. It might even be 7. I don't know. I'm so old. But every time I learn from my mistakes and get better, I hope each time.
We're not old. We're like fine wine. We're getting
Well, I'm very
better,
well
Roland.
preserved. Um,
It's that all
but
that
this is,
experience is helping us to get better.
I'm like a
So
Monet. I look good from about 10 feet away. That's all I can
yeah,
say.
I
Yeah.
mean, I
Back
agree
to
with
you
that.
though.
I think, how many times have you been up against a deadline and it's incredible how much you can accomplish? So
Yeah.
think of
Right.
it that way. So when you channel that adrenaline, because
Right.
when you're looking at, you want to do that before you get desperate, before you're going, oh
Yeah.
no, can I make my car payment? Can I make my mortgage payment? Let's
Right.
channel that adrenaline, and
Right.
activity
Channel
creates
adrenaline. I like
activity.
it. Yeah. Say it
So
again.
activity creates activity.
It does. Yeah. Activity creates activity. Action cures anxiety is what I like to say. And I don't know about you, but I get anxious pretty easily. But I've learned that if I do something positive, something that's moving in the direction of my goals, then I feel better. It's like, okay, I've done, at the end of the day, when I'm finishing working, I've asked myself, I've done everything I could to make that day better. If I learned from the mistakes, yeah, if yes, good. If not, then we need to do better the next day. But it takes practice. But anyway, so there's a
Yep.
mindset for you. Should we get into
There's
some stuff now?
it's mindset. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we're going to kick off with 10 things, and we're going
10.
to rapid fire this stuff. So 10
All right.
things that are working. They are working right now. But
And we're only
it's
rapid
like
firing.
Roland said, that first step is often the hardest. So
Yes.
if you're not doing these things, and we can't go into total detail on how to, but you can always reach out to us and let us know that, hey, I need help with this, and either of us can help you with
Yes.
this. So
We're only going
number
quickly because we've got
one,
1 hour. Yeah, we want to get it out there, but
get it
please.
all out. So we're going to go
Yeah.
fast. Number one, realtor outreach with a twist. So,
Okay. Let's
and what
hear
I
the
mean
twist.
with that is stop calling realtors and go, I have an inventory, I need to move.
All right.
Stop saying, if you want to
It's a
be
bit rude.
different, right? So, how about instead of being transactional with your realtor friends, how about you offer to collaborate with them?
Nice. Okay.
And one of the great things that's working is offer to be their videographer. Have them
Oh,
come out and say, I will video you touring our homes. I'll even
oh,
give you talking points so you look
wow.
amazing.
Wow.
And you share this, you're going to attract more buyers. You're going to be able to bring those buyers to me.
Nice.
When come out, let's figure a time. We'll
I
have
love it.
coffee, we'll have croissants, we'll have whatever, but we're going to work together.
All right. I love that. Can I double down on your idea? What we used to
Yeah.
do when I was last a sales manager, I think it was 2017, 2018, when I came back to this, was we actually used to do a blog about our realtor of the month. So anybody that had sold a home with us, we put her or his photograph and did a little article about them and created on social media. We featured at least one realtor a month. So and they of course loved that because we're now promoting them and they can put it out there. So I love that. The other thing that if you are making notes is consistency. So we talked about the time to focus now, and so many places that you and I go, people go, yeah, I should do my realtor drops, I should do my realtor visits. That's not the right mindset. It needs to be a habit. So habits, we don't have many habits. Hygiene is the one that we all share. I presume we all clean our teeth.
Well, let's
I'm
hope.
English. Well, I'm English. I clean them 3 times a year, Christmas Day and New Year's Day or whatever. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a habit. You don't think about it. You just do it. I make coffee every morning at about 6:45. I love it. It's like the favorite smell that I have. But it's a habit. I can't miss that when I'm home anyway. And so I don't think realtors are a habit for most of our clients out there, Kimberly. So what I mean is make a list of who you're going to visit. Go out and visit them every month consistently. Don't be transactional. Be connected. Collaborate. And then the main thing is they need to come to your model. If you have a model home in the community, they need to come to you. You need to have at least one breakfast a month at your place. That's easy to do. I only teach what I've done myself, and I was that guy that every month I had a breakfast at my community, whether I was a salesperson or a manager, and it works. It doesn't work quickly, but it works over time. And they just get used
Absolutely,
to
when you
seeing
are
you. So
consistent.
thank you. So the twist, I think, is consistency and building that relationship, not just when you need them, but every month, one real estate office as a minimum should be visiting your models, get them a nice, Panera breakfast or whatever for $100 and spoil them a little bit. And then you get appointments from that and then make your mailing list that you follow up with. But now they know who you are and they like you, which is an important thing, hopefully.
Listen, early in my career, I learned that realtors were going to make or break me. And I
Yeah,
also figured out that if I want 50 sales a year personally,
there
I
we
need
go.
25 realtors who are going to bring me 2 deals a year. They might bring me more buyers, but two of them at
Right.
least we're going to get across the finish line. And
So yes, a lot of
these are
real,
my
yeah,
VIPs. These are people I
right.
know, I like, I trust, and they
Sure.
invite me. I'm coming to,
Yeah.
the kids' graduation. I'm going to the kids' weddings. I'm going to the birthday parties.
Wow,
Like
that's a
they
lot.
know me. It's
Yeah.
not
I
transactional.
never
Like
did
we
any of that,
truly
by the way, but
establish
that's
friendships.
okay. I did
Yeah.
go to the golf tournaments and the charity events that I did.
Yeah, so that no,
But,
I mean, and it's been years since I was on the floor. Let's move on to our next one, first time
please,
buyer seminars.
great idea.
If you are in that first time market, and I'll
Yep.
go, it could be first time buyer. It could also be what about hometown heroes like nurses,
Okay.
firefighters, police,
Mhm.
seminars there
Yep.
because people just are afraid in this market. There's fear.
Hmm.
That's what's keeping people on the fence.
Right.
So if they're afraid, then they just need a roadmap.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
those seminars, and believe me, the police and the fire and like they'll help you host them and bring people in for you.
Yeah. So I realize now I'm very, very boring today. My note on that is consistency again. Don't try it one time and think that you've done it. It should be I mean, you'll decide on the cadence. Is it every month or every other month and you'll put it on your website, you'll put it on your social media. Normally a Saturday Saturday is normally a good day for that kind of stuff. But, so the first thing is consistency. The second thing is don't be hard on yourself. If you get one buyer that buys as a result of that, you created that sale. So I've had clients that have done, oh, I only got three couples. Like, that's good. Three couples is great. Don't beat yourself up. If one of those three then comes back maybe for a muddy boots tour during the week, or you have some other thing that you do with them, that's a real success. Tabby is saying something. There's a
Yes,
sort of
and
thing.
Tabby
Yeah,
always has brilliant stuff. So
it
she
does.
says
Yeah. Hey,
many people
Tabby.
do not understand that just because they've owned a home before that they won't qualify as a first time buyer
Oh, there we
or
go.
an
Yeah.
FHA, or there are different programs. Absolutely, Tabby. That's one of
Yeah,
my
but
things. So
education. But the idea of what you're saying is post something on your website, do it monthly or bi-monthly where it's educational, get people out there, get your mortgage company along, signing people up on the spot, give them an incentive for signing up that day, whatever your program is. There's a builder I've worked with called Garrett Custom Homes out on the West Coast that has been doing this for 10 years. And if anybody wants to check out what they do, you'll go on their website. It's GARRETTE. I just shout out to Kevin Wan and his team because they were early in this and they do it every month and it drives sales. Literally, the closing ratio, conversion ratio of educational seminar to sale is enormous. So it's worth doing. It
and
takes
you template it.
consistency.
You do the same thing over and
Yeah, of
over again. You
course.
work with your
Yeah.
lender, you find somebody who does credit repair, you work with your
Yes.
insurance person, you work with your
Yeah.
title people, and they will help you put this together. And it doesn't have to be long. Like it's a 30,
Yeah.
45 minute gig that you're doing,
Yeah.
periodically. I
All
have a
right.
builder in Atlanta who has signed up. She did this for one sheriff's office. They loved it so much, they referred her to the other sheriff's office, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
now spreading around,
Good for you.
and they're hosting it. And then she's
Good for
like,
them, I
"Well,
mean.
that worked so well." She went to the schools, started
Really?
working with the PTA, and now
Really?
she's doing home buyer seminars through the school system.
Oh
I
my
mean, come
gosh.
on, people.
High five to that. builder
I
that
was
you
like,
coach to do that. That's
I'm
great.
told all the time, no, it doesn't work. It
It
doesn't work.
doesn't
Yes,
work.
it does.
I tried it
Yes,
once. It never worked. You can't just try it once. You know, if you want to get something accomplished, you will, and that's what this
yes.
needs to be. But it's a sale over here. It's a sale over there. You have a consistent program. Anyway, let's move on because we're going to run out of
Let's
time.
move
So
on.
let's get
All right,
social,
let's
shall
talk
we?
about getting social for real.
Yeah,
All
for
right,
reals, I think you're
I'm just
supposed to
gonna
say.
say it. I'm gonna put this out there.
Uh-oh.
Stop with your boring post. Just
Yeah.
stop it.
Okay.
Just stop.
Well, what would a
Nobody
boring
wants
post
to
be?
see a house for sale.
Okay.
They don't.
So what should it be instead?
Let's have some fun with it. I mean, come on,
Okay.
people. So,
Absolutely.
our friend Beth Lemon in Wyoming used
Oh
her,
yeah.
she did a 10-part series
I didn't know
using
that.
her kids to talk about what they liked about the home in kid language.
Oh. Wow. Well
How
done, Beth.
cool was that? And they are at the height of their cutehood. I mean, like
Oh,
missing
there you
teeth
go.
for the dog. Like
Oh,
they're at that perfect age of just
how
you
sweet.
just want to eat them up. So
That's
use
the
kids.
kids.
Put a webcam on a dog
Really?
from a dog's perspective. How about you show your homes from the dog's perspective? It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Just get creative. There's one
Wow.
lady who has even been interviewed on her local news because she's doing whisper tours.
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
It's the craziest thing, and she plays hide and seek in the model homes.
Right.
And so she's like, if I was in this room, where would I hide? And she does the whole thing about the room,
That's
and then all
great.
of a sudden she pops up, and you didn't even realize she was there.
Well, yeah, I should go look for that. I don't think I've seen that. That's interesting. So,
It's super cute. I'll send you the link, and I'll
yeah.
post the link in the post show. I don't have the
Okay.
link. I didn't come prepared. I should have
No,
come
you're
prepared
fine.
with the
But
link for her.
can we talk about what you're saying, though? What you're saying is get over yourselves. I'm older, and so in our world, it was very corporate. Everything has to be corporate, homogenized, go through the company, and it ends up being rather boring and rather dull. So what we want to suggest is that you collaborate. So if you're a salesperson, listen to this. You're thinking, well, I'd love to do that, but my company won't let me. If you're a manager, you're thinking, well, my owners might be nervous if we encourage the salespeople to do this stuff. So we need to get over that and realize that the brand is the salespeople are part of the brand, and it's okay for them to have fun. They're selling to human beings that also want to have fun in their home. They're not buying a boring product. It's a home they're going to raise the adorable kids, have their dogs, having fun with them or whatever it's going to be. So really, the message is collaborate with marketing. I just interviewed.
Get
Excuse
approval
me.
from
Yeah,
marketing, but
well, just
do it
work together.
first.
Yeah.
Do it
I,
first.
I
Just do it. Make it cool and fun, and
well,
talk to
yeah.
them about how it could
Well,
be a reel instead of just posted on your page, which
right.
nobody's looking at. When it
Yeah.
becomes a reel and it becomes something people are like, "What the heck is happening?" They're
Yeah.
going to pay
So
attention.
I was going to mention this Nicole Maggio at Chesapeake Homes I work with, and I just interviewed her and Jacoby Winslet at Timbercraft in Oklahoma, and both of them are really good at social media. Nicole is the marketing manager, but she encourages the salespeople to make videos. She gives them topics, like just easy stuff, like it could be anything, and it works very effectively. Two of her salespeople made a video in the fall where they just literally threw up leaves and said, "Come see us. It's fall, y'all. Come see us." And they sent it out as a follow-up video, not for social, but for follow-up. Their database was 200 people. They got 3 appointments and 1 sale, but it was just them throwing leaves in the air, going, "Come, it's fall, y'all, come see us." Jacoby at Timbercraft has become an influencer. He's the selling sales manager. But he's done so well with his videos. They're awesome. He has 44,000 followers on Instagram, and he literally
Fantastic.
gets sales. It's not a joke. Like I know, social media doesn't really, there's no ROI, doesn't make sales. It can if you do it consistently and do it well and get over ourselves and stop worrying about, do I look fat? Do I sound strange or whatever? And have fun with it and collaborate, manager, marketing manager, sales team, work together. I'm sure that you have to get blessings on certain things if you're a bigger company, and that's fine, but don't let that stop you. Just make that part of a way. It does drive in traffic, right? Your algorithms will spot you if you do it enough, and so it drives in traffic. You've still got to close it when it gets there, but now they're looking forward to seeing that real person they just met. I think Cindy Clemens is on the call, also from Chesapeake, and I watched one of her videos which she made and said we got a sale on blah blah blah, whatever it was. Drove in sales as a result of it. So great job to Cindy. And like all of us, we don't think we look perfect, but we're real humans. It doesn't matter. Just human to
Doesn't
human.
matter. You look how
Yeah.
you look. Get over it. And I know Roland and I were just talking about yeah,
Talking.
at the sales rally. I was like, I had to when I watched
Yeah.
it again. I had to get over. I was like, oh, looking at my
Great.
how
And
I
it was a
looked.
It was a
And
great sales
instead, I
rally.
was like, "Oh, I could pay attention." But one of the things that we talked about at that sales rally was the need to hire people who are they are these social media influencers. They need that
Yeah,
kind of skill, that kind of mindset of
right.
collaborating and bringing people in and creating excitement, and
Sure.
that's the wave of the future. That's what new home salespeople who
Yeah,
are becoming very successful. They're getting out of the box. So if you're
right.
the corporate person, be open to that. Obviously,
Yeah,
approve it. Make sure there isn't anything that's
yeah,
a fair housing violation or that's going
yeah.
to
That's
make
a
the
good point.
company look bad, because not everybody's sense of humor is the same. But
Right.
but let people do something other than just post an elevation of your home.
Yeah,
So
which is so
anyways,
boring.
we've beaten
Exactly.
that one to death.
I think we
Let's
have. Yeah,
talk
it's a
about
good,
other
good come.
videos that we can make. And you just shared with me you're actually starting to do this. So I'm looking forward to seeing those.
Oh, thank
Create
you.
an educational video library.
Sure.
So
Okay.
people want to know how to buy a new home. Now, these cannot be self-promotional. So it can't be buy
Well,
Bodacious Builders because we're the best at blah, blah, blah. Kind of like that
well, it's
homes.com
both.
commercial where, you know,
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right
it
though. You're
can't be
right. Yeah.
that.
Right. But the sort of the meta message, that the latent message, if you will, is that, hey, I like these people that are communicating how to buy their home. Maybe we should go visit them. But
Yeah.
you're right. There's companies that we both work with that have millions of viewers on YouTube from just doing, here's a foundation. This is what it means to pour a foundation. This is what, this is what this inspection means or whatever. And it could be a 2-minute video. It can be a 20-minute video talking, but each one, the
Shorter the better.
consistency. Well, yeah, both. I just,
Yeah.
again, work with so many companies that do both. Short is good for a lot of views. Longer ones can get traction as well. They'll watch the bits that they want to watch. So just don't let it stop you. Just go do it. All right, what's
Yeah,
next?
people and realtors
So,
want to know. So I always say happy educated realtors create happy educated buyers.
right,
So educational videos to your realtors about, hey, how do you participate in a frame walk? What should you
sure.
look for in a frame? I mean, we could go on and on. Which brings
Yes.
us, which is good. This was a good segue, and I didn't do it on purpose. Behind the wall. No, I did. I did it on purpose. Behind the wall tours.
Hmm.
We used to refer to those as muddy boots tours, but I think that might be a
Okay.
little intimidating for some people.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, it's not muddy. I
let's
guess
have
it's
the
not accurate.
behind the walls
Sure.
tours, both
Hmm.
for buyers and for realtors.
Okay. Yeah.
We're not on, we're not making video. Maybe we could make videos about it, but we're doing it live. We're getting people out. We've got a
Great.
home at frame stage. Come learn what
Right.
happens behind the walls. What should you look for? What are you seeing? How does this work? Why do we do it this way?
Right.
All
Is
people
that a similar thing to like a design studio preview? If you have a design studio,
Sure,
would
you
that
could do
be?
that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be
Yeah.
behind the walls, but it would be
Well, I
design
know, but
studio. Yeah,
it'd be
design.
fun. People living used to love Chip and JoJo before they disappeared from HGTV, and everyone likes new homes. I mean, that's why they're coming to see us. So that could be an extension of that as well.
Somebody's asking which platforms work best. So Terry, I'm going to say the one you'll use. So Facebook Reels, Instagram. The thing about Instagram and Facebook, and they're pretty universal. So if you
Yeah,
do a reel on Instagram, it also carries over onto you connect it to
yeah,
your Facebook. So you'll get a 2-for-1 there.
yeah.
I'm
And then YouTube.
struggling with X right now. I don't know
No,
what's
yeah.
happening. I don't know that I want to waste my time there, but TikTok,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, really? And
working.
then YouTube. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and
They
YouTube
live on
now.
YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube is the third largest search engine in the world.
Wow.
People forget.
Amazing.
They're like, "Oh, YouTube." No, YouTube. Okay,
Right.
it's not oh
All
YouTube.
right.
It's YouTube. Yes, use it.
Yes.
Let's talk about the home we mentioned before, the Hometown Hero programs.
Yeah.
So if you're in that price point and you're not working with this group, first of all, they deserve it. Secondly, these are people we want in our communities. They're hard workers. There are so many great programs that our lenders can pull together for us for this. Talk about a special incentive just for people who qualify for that, but then take it out to the hospitals. Take it out to, I mean, I know here in Tampa, there's a new walk-in clinic or a new one of those pop-up emergency room things on every corner.
Sure.
Reach
Yeah, I know what
out
you mean.
to
Yeah.
those people, right? Because
Sure.
they work really hard. They're wonderful in our communities. The police that we talked about before, having that set up, firefighters, these are people, and
Yeah.
when you have a happy firefighter or nurse or
Right.
police in your community, they tell others. They talk
Yeah.
and they look
And
out for one another. They have
if
great community.
yeah, and if you're in it's not quite the same, but if you're in a family area with lots of schools, or your buyers have kids, you can sponsor sports teams and so forth to get you out there and be part of the community as well. So a lot of times salespeople might have kids, and so go ask your manager, can you sponsor my local team that my 8-year-old is on, and now all of a sudden all the parents are saying, oh, okay, so and so Holmes is out there. So giving back to the community is fantastic. All right.
Absolutely. So next one is create FOMO with sneak peek events. And if you're going to truly create FOMO, remember scarcity sells. So no, we don't have 5,000 new homes. We have 10. We have we have that, and make it invitation only. So get on our VIP. We're only going to invite so many people. There's only going to be 50 people at this event. There's only going to be 25. This is a true sneak peek event. Make it, again, get that scarcity mentality in there. So, and then build your own influencer network. So that's another way you can work with those realtor VIPs.
Yeah. No,
Realtors do. Attack
yeah.
does a great job with promoting, and she's a realtor, and she does a great job promoting different programs, different things, closings, going out to builders. Let your realtor VIPs be your outside network. Your company won't advertise you, but they'll let a realtor do it.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's not who you know, but who knows you. And so volunteering for your local chamber of commerce, your board of realtors, get on an education committee at your board of realtors. I mean, if you want to work with realtors, as most of us do out there, we've decided, yes, yes, they can be problematic at times, but we consistently want the realtor business. So then partner up with them, get it, the more breakfasts you do, the more visits you do, the more meetings that you attend, you'll build a database of people that really know you and genuinely like you. And then when you sell out of one neighborhood or whatever it's going to be, you'll bring that database with you, your followers, and you'll say, hey, I'm over here now in a new neighborhood, come visit, kind of stuff. And it's easy. It might take a year or two to get a database of realtors or followers, but once it's set, it works. I was in one place, as I mentioned, I think for 10 years. And so I did the breakfast every month. I got the following, and it was just amazing. Whenever we had a grand closeout, grand opening, they were always the first to know and just the first to come out and sell homes. So it
And they
works. It
will
works if you
follow
like
you.
it.
Like some people say, oh, well, I'm getting transferred
Yeah.
across town.
Yeah.
Let me
Let
tell
them
you,
know. Yeah.
because of the Great Recession, realtors learned they could drive. So
Yeah. All
realtors used
right.
to really farm their area and stay in one certain area. They do not anymore. They will drive,
Yep.
they will commute.
All right.
The
Number
ninth one
9.
here, number
Mm-hmm.
9, is social proof. If you aren't using video testimonials,
Oh, I see. Perfect. Yeah.
shame on you.
Yeah.
Be-
Yeah. Yeah.
we've known for a long time. It's great to get a testimonial from a buyer in written word. Guess what? You can transcribe a video, so you can do that in written word
Yeah.
if you still want to
Yeah.
do it. Get the video, because people see
Well,
them doing it and
just
they trust
right.
that more. Why do you think there's
So
all these fake AI videos with using influencers? Because people trust video.
right. So
People
so
trust it.
So I think the salespeople need to create a ceremony when you sell a home and when the clients move in as well, and then it creates an aura of success. I know I've been preaching this for years. My own sales teams, we would take photographs and just stick them around the office, give them a photo album when they moved in that would make on Shutterfly, but that's dated now. Now it's so much better. When they
Still do
buy a
it.
home, put it out there on social media with a picture of whatever you're doing, whatever your ceremony is. But think about, not only does it create an aura of success, it also prevents buyer's remorse. And it gets you referrals and drives in traffic. So buyers, you probably remember this. I think it's at the Hopkins. What they used to say was when somebody bought a home, you're supposed to give them excuse me, a tub of ice cream. You remember that from, you ever heard of that,
No,
Kimberly?
not ice cream.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's an old school thing where you buy, I think it's in maybe Dave Stone's book or Tom Hopkins, one of those, where you give a gallon of ice cream. The idea is that they have to go home to put it in the freezer. They can't stop at other builders. It's supposed to prevent buyer's remorse. Thank
Oh,
goodness we don't need to worry about ice cream. We have social media to brag about us. See, I think it's sort of cute and funny, but we have social media. So take pictures, put them on social media. Their friends where they're moving from will go, oh, you're moving over there. Let me go look at it. Your builder and you will look awfully successful, which is great. And it's great for driving in future traffic from others.
yeah.
And you can forward
And
all of that stuff. I think when they move in as well, the charming
so
videos of them moving in. Sorry, Kimberly, after you.
move in, yes. When they close, yes.
Mhm.
When how about a to be built? We
Yeah.
how I mean, I know it's
With the
cliche,
camera,
but
what should be
spray
built?
paint a shovel gold and go have a shovel
Yeah.
digging ceremony and then
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
them a jar of dirt.
Whatever, yeah, that or whatever you do, I don't really. I mean, when I say I don't care, I don't mind. Just do something, just go out there with a frame and put the heads in front of it, put a sold sticker on it, have fun with it, but just be human and get consistent. And now your realtors and your buyers are going, well, look how many homes they've sold over there at that builder. So, and yeah, and don't over worry about it being perfectly produced. It could be a picture, it could be a video. Videos are great, of course, for
Exactly.
for higher watching. But that's
And if they're
perfect. Good.
jumping, get the kids involved, get the dog
Yeah.
involved, have them come out. We're going to do a quick little photo. If your skill is
Yeah.
photography or
Yeah.
use your
Well,
own skills.
I'm
And then
interested in.
lastly,
Mhm.
the last one is traffic by text with
Interesting.
permission as people
Hmm.
register. I almost hesitated on this one because I have so many salespeople who want to try to sell a home by text. So
Hmm.
no, but texting is great for driving traffic. So,
Yeah, definitely.
send them a little bomb video or send them a video holding up a piece of paper with their name on it.
Okay.
Hey, I know we just met today. I just wanted to reach out to you and say, you know what? Thank you for your time. Thank you for
Sure.
coming out to the model center today. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed meeting you. And I know that, we're going to be able to get you through whatever that challenge is that they brought up, whatever their
Yeah.
their thing is, like make it personal, make that follow-up personal. So
Sure.
you can do a lot with texting and video and really
Perfect.
connect with people in a way that just a follow-up email won't do.
Right.
I'm going to throw another one out there. Use thank you notes, handwritten thank you notes. I
Sure.
know,
All
Kimberly, you've
right.
lost
Now
your
we're talking
mind.
about
You've gone
driving in
totally old
traffic,
school.
though. I'm closing more. So
Yeah,
I agree with
yeah,
that, but let's
let's
stick
do
to
that.
the driving in traffic and what to do now with inventory before we run out of time. So that
Roland's
was
keeping me on task today
a
because I'm so
little
fired up.
bit, because I got some good stuff I want to share. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Not saying that wasn't. That was great, but yeah,
Yeah. All right. So there's top
you
10
had me at
things you can
social
do.
proof.
And I think we gave you an extra bonus on that.
Yes.
Let's do talk about inventory because we do see that inventories are climbing. The number of
Yes.
inventories sitting on the ground are climbing right now.
Yes, they are.
And that's a challenge for us for a couple of reasons. As your builders, they're going to start getting really nervous if your
Right.
inventory is sitting on the ground. So
Yes.
I know that I've and Roland's got a whole process he wants to go through, but I want to talk about mindset really quickly before we go into that. I have this thing called whose objection is it? And it's a
Hmm.
story of when I was selling. The owner of
Hmm.
the company came out and he said to me, Kimberly, you're doing a great job selling these townhomes. Really appreciate it. They had sat for a long time before I got there, but I had one floor plan that I just really struggled to move. And let me set the stage on why. When I walked up on the front porch, it was adorable from the outside. You walked in, and the first thing you saw was a combination laundry room, powder bath
Right.
in the front as your
Right.
front
Right.
thing, right? So I just could envision people's unmentionables hanging up drying like this
Oh,
whole horrible like it.
sounds good.
And to make matters worse, the toilet sat right in front of a floor to ceiling window.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, so obviously I had some
Interesting. Maybe it's
challenges
great
there.
for exhibitionists would like that. So
Right,
don't watch
right.
me go to
So
the bathroom. Yeah.
there's a cure for all of that though. And the cure for me was that when the owner of the company came out and said, "You better figure this out or I'll find somebody who will." Now I liked
Oh,
my job. I was doing very
very
well. I was
threatening.
making great money. So I don't have any memory of doing this other than I do remember going down with my yellow pad and making, okay, here's a feature, here's
Good.
a benefit. Here's the benefit
Good.
of this. So I must have gotten frustrated and closed the door on that room.
which is right through
As
there.
I'm walking out from that exercise, I'm walking up the sidewalk toward my model. A pickup truck pulling a U-Haul shows up. Now, in new home sales, you got somebody pulling up in a U-Haul and they're not one of
It's
your
motivating, yeah.
buyers getting ready to close. You get pretty excited about that. That's a good sign, right? Out of this truck bounds the most beautiful German Shepherd I think I've ever seen. His
Oh,
name was Zeke.
wow.
So Zeke is going crazy. The two people in the truck, they had just gotten married. They were a lovely military couple. They had to report to MacDill Air Force Base in about 2 weeks. They had seen us on the web. They knew what they liked about the community, and they needed something ready to go. They had all their VA papers in line, and because they had to report to duty in on January 3rd. So this is right before Christmas when they pull up. So I'm like, okay, well, all this is good. Well, in the meantime, Zeke's going crazy because he's been cooped up in the truck because they drove from Texas. So I said, you know what? Do you have a water bowl for him? Let me go get some waters.
Oh,
And I
sweet.
have a fenced in backyard because
Oh,
they said, well, we were going to run him in the park before we came in to see you, but we see there's no fence in the park. It was open. And I said, yeah, I've got a place for him to go. So I ran back in the model, got us all waters. Then we ran into the home that I had just come out of, walked straight through to the back. We're
perfect.
doing
Way to
our
demo.
discovery. We're
Yeah.
doing our meet and greet. We can't. I said, well, actually, this home is available. Would you like to see it? Blah blah blah. They loved everything in the home. I get to where what we came in through the back door, not the front.
Interesting.
Walk through. They're like, oh, this is great. I can see this. Oh, there's room
Yeah.
for this. Blah blah. All the buying signs.
Great story. Yeah.
I cringe as I open the door. I'm in front of them, and I cringe as I
Right.
open the door because I'm just waiting for the objection.
Right.
And I opened the door, and the lady says to me, "It's Zeke's room."
Oh,
It was big enough. It was perfect for all the dog stuff because Zeke was
right.
a
Right.
big German Shepherd. And she
Nice.
envisioned that space. And she said, well, that window there is not ideal. And I said, it's okay. We can put some blinds on that for you. And she said, perfect.
Yeah.
This is
No,
perfect
Ezekiel
for
would love
us.
having a big window. What are you talking about? He's
Yeah.
probably cooped up in a room without windows. He'd probably love to look out
He
and
could
bark
love
at the
that he
neighbors.
could see out. Yes, it
This
was
would be
perfect
Dunkel
for him.
Sean.
My point here is there
Yes.
is a but because Roland likes butts. There is a but for every seat.
So rude.
And
Yeah.
sometimes the objection to your
Well,
inventory is
yeah.
between your ears. In
Well,
fact,
that
it usually is.
Right. Well, okay. So, I actually, there's other things that you did. I don't know if, the other takeaway, when we do training out in the field, we number the floor plan in the right sequence. If you know that there's something that's objectionable, you don't start with that. It's known as, so there's something known as the halo effect. So the first few things you experience, you hold on to. If I meet you for the first time and it goes, well, I like you. If it's bumpy, I might not ever get over that. So what you inadvertently did is you started with some of the best features, assets of that townhome, especially for a family with a dog. You started with the view in the backyard and they went, this works great. Then the kitchen looked great. The great room looked great. By the time you got to that front room, if it wasn't a Zeke issue with the dog, they were like, well, it's no big deal anymore because it's the last thing that we experienced. So I'm a big believer in numbering your floor plan. Get the good stuff in early. Get 4 or 5 really
Yep.
exciting things: the great room, the kitchen, the things they love, a view, and then we'll go back to those little spaces that might be awkward or objectionable. So you did 2 things brilliantly. You were kind, compassionate. You listened to them. You gave the dog water, and you showed the home in a perfect order. So it was a win-win. All
I
right.
would rather play with the dog all day long, right? So
Who doesn't
yes,
prefer
but the,
dogs?
the
Yeah.
point is sometimes your objections, you literally just need to
Yeah.
close the door on them as I did because
All
I
right.
had 8 more of that floor plan I had to
Yeah.
sell.
Fair enough.
They didn't all have Zeeks. So,
Right.
but I now knew the value of
Cool.
that space and it made sense because like you said, when I showed it in a different order. So
Yeah.
let's talk about your map
Can
process.
I? Oh,
So
thank goodness. Yeah, I'm
yes,
not thank
please.
goodness. I mean, I'm just so happy to talk about it. Yeah. So, all right. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I hope it didn't come out like that. That was
No,
terrible.
please, let's talk
For
about it.
time immemorial. Yeah. So I learned this myself when I was managing homes in Southwest Florida. We had a few homes that sort of piled up with inventory, inventory that we couldn't sell. So we came up with a map. So if you're taking notes, MAP, the M is marketing, the A is appearance, the P is pricing and promotion, And so what Kimberly and I were talking about earlier before we got on was to empower your salespeople to collaborate with you to look at this map. So real briefly, on the marketing side, something that's overlooked in new home sales is for the salespeople to check on their own, to check on the listings as they appear in MLS. Zillow is such a big search engine, and most MLSs automatically connect to Zillow and Realtor.com, of course. Zillow is over 200 million monthly users, which is ridiculously huge. Not all for your neighborhood, of course, but how does your listing really show up there? And so I would encourage you to start there and make sure that your homes are showing up individually, not generically. I just had a Zoom this morning with a team in New Hampshire, actually an individual I did coaching with last month, and we had a look at her listings, and what wasn't there was the macro to micro. So she was selling an infill area, and so I said, please change the listing. Talk about you can walk to downtown, you can hop in your car and commute 30 minutes to Boston, I think it would have been. And then the actual pictures were so generic. They were a model, but this isn't the model. This is a different home. So you have 8 seconds to get someone's attention when they're scrolling through Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. Does your listing stop them in their tracks? So first of all, have a look at the photographs. You normally have to have the elevation first. But then what's your second picture? Is it the great room, or is it 17 pictures of your foyer or something like that? Zeke loved his view. Townhomes. So maybe your third picture is the backyard fence, because now I'm looking at it's a good location, and don't just talk about it being a good location. Show pictures of that. You all know, everybody out there in this call, all 2,000 of you. I think it's 2,000. Anyway, 2 million of you. We normally sell macro to micro, right? We start with location, community, then we go home. Home site's part of it. Does your listing reflect that? So you can put photographs of the community. You can put photographs of the map showing all the great benefits, as well as looking at pictures, and get rid of the boring pictures that are sort of repetitive. So I'm sorry to hog the conversation, but on the
No, this
marketing,
is your
that's
this
the
is your
first
thing, and
thing.
I love it.
No,
It's so on point,
well,
and
good.
it simplifies for people where
It's
their
a
focus should be.
Yeah, it's a blind spot for
Thank
new
you,
home
Kathy.
sales. Thanks. Yeah, we tend to just presume marketing takes care of that. Well, they don't, and your general public is out there looking at that. Also, if you have a few homes to sell, then talk to marketing about creating a campaign for your move-in ready homes. So, work on what a campaign would look like, those kind of things. Can I move to A for appearance? I want to make sure we don't run out of time. So, the appearance of your home. How many times have you and I heard? You're a salesperson. It sounds like you were abused as badly as all of us have been over the years. God bless all of our lovely managers. But so many times you'll come back and say to your boss, well, it needs a fence. It needs landscaping. The paint color should be changed in the dining room. What if we could add some flowers, whatever? And your boss would say, well, if you sell it, I'll do that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? The time has changed. The buyer doesn't care. They'll just go on to the next one. So if you know it needs the fence, if you know the grass needs to be watered, if you need some flowers, maybe you're talking about adding fans and chandeliers once you sell it. Well, the buyer doesn't know that, and buying is emotion backed by logic. They got to fall in love with something. So what I would encourage you to do is to walk all of your showcase homes and have your salespeople do it, and put a list together of the tweaks that you could make on the appearance to make sure that it's really popping. It has to be mint condition. The grass has to be mowed as a basic thing, but all the other things. P is very important for pricing and promotion. So that's the third piece of the map. So have a look at your pricing. It needs to be competitive, of course. But what is your promotion, if you have one? Now, we are living in the world of incentives, so don't hate the player, hate the game. I think, what was it?
Yep.
Ali Wolf at IBS. I think it was like 87% of builders now have some kind of incentive, but it has to be a meaningful one, and there's two goals with your incentive. One is to drive in traffic, get their attention. The other is to actually make sales. And so there's different kinds of incentives or promotions that you can have. You can have a promotion of users you choose that you'll see out there that drives in traffic. You can have some back pocket incentive if you want to work things out before it becomes a workout. So if you've got an aged home and you want to be realistic, we don't want to be desperate and lower the price too much, to a combination of a promotion, whether maybe some front of house incentive, but also
Can
a
I
back
jump in on
pocket.
that one?
No, please, of
Because
course. Yeah.
pricing is such a big thing right now. So
Yeah.
if you're pull your comps, and
Mm.
80% of your competition is still used homes.
Right. Yeah.
So pull the used homes too. So you need to know what is the price per square, not just from the new homes, but so, and lowering prices, that's like the last place I'm going to go. I'll go
Yeah.
incentive all day long if I got to pull a lever.
You're right. Exactly. It helps you save
Yeah,
face, right?
I
Yeah.
don't want to be lowering prices too soon. I
Right.
mean, if
Well,
you come out of the box, if you come out and put this home out there and it's way out of whack with everything,
yeah.
you got to
Well,
get in whack because the market sets the
Yeah.
price.
In whack. There's a lot of smart people out there that already know this. If you're up against some kind of a price buffer where it turns from, if it's 410 at 410,000, you know that 399 would get you more people, more eyeballs, then that's a different thing. If it's 440 down to 420, why does that really matter? I don't think people are really going to come in because of that. But if you break a certain price point that people are now looking, then maybe you do that. But if you could also, anybody making notes, if you could write down was and is. So it's pointless having an incentive or bringing the price down if the salesperson doesn't announce it. And so
Yes.
I was role playing in Raleigh with a team, and it caught my attention. It's like 4 months ago now, where I think the salesperson who's actually excellent, by the way, and did a great job and corrected it immediately. But it was sort of, I don't know if I even learned the price outside of the home. I might have done, but I didn't know whether that was good or bad. And so what I want you to do is say, the price was this. Our builders just said that we'd like to get more closings. We're going to, what is it now? Spring incentive, spring forward, or whatever, or we're trying to get to our pro forma by a certain date. So we've now brought it down to this. Isn't that incredible? Or as we go through that, I want to point out there's so many luxury features in here that normally are an upgrade, which is a bad word, but if they're free, it's a good word. As I walk through, I want to point out all the luxury features that you would be getting if you chose this home. In other words, like really own that. I think that maybe a couple of years ago, I forget when rates started going up, there was an embarrassment about, oh my goodness, I don't want to price apologize and to my right. But if the price is lower, I need to know that as a buyer because I don't know if you're like me, I'm excited, but do you like buying things on sale? Yes, I love it. I mean, I'm
Yes.
very cheap. When I buy my blue
Price and
shirts,
value must always equal.
when I
Always.
go and buy
You
my
don't move forward unless they do.
I go to needless markup, the what is it, the special one where they have sales all the time. I don't go to the regular needless markup, Neiman Marcus. I go to the one that's on sale all the time. And I look at the label, like, oh, it's supposed to be $78, it's 39 or so 29, whatever. I like it. But the point
You
is,
and I
if
are
they don't know,
shopping at incredibly different Neiman Marcuses. You're seeing
so
something for
it's the rack.
39.
It's the rack. I go to the rack, not the real one. Too cheap. But my point is that if you're gonna have an incentive, if you have brought the price down already, what was the price? What is the price? And then back it up in writing when they go back. Don't have a list with 10 available. Just make a flyer for each individual one. Show the beautiful finishes in the home. When you recap, say, look, this home was supposed to be $679.9. We just brought it down to $649.9 with all these luxury items that you just saw in it. Let's go ahead. Well, I saw the opposite of this on a video shop where the salesperson didn't announce that, and the buyer wanted to negotiate. About 10 minutes later, they find out the price had been reduced. She goes, oh, I didn't know that. When I said that, I had no idea what the was price is. So I just lean into it. Don't be embarrassed about it. Don't apologize for it. Do it in a way that builds value first and make sure they're in love with the home. But we've got to get that across. The one last thing I do want to mention is the different kinds of incentives. One that does drive in traffic, I know Scott Backman introduced me to this 3 years ago in the Springs, is a permanent rate buy down or a forward commitment. So that's
Yes.
something that, yeah. So there's something
It
that
does double duty because it drives traffic and right now with the affordability crisis.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's a choice. We talked about this earlier. We had a long conversation. But some people, if you have it as part of your toolbox, if you will, of choices, it might drive traffic. If they have low down payment, they might find that they want a different program, like an FHA or VA program. So that's fine. But it gets them in the door. And for the right people, if you sell it correctly, if you show them that, I think there's a magic number that the NAHB says get under 5%, like 4.99. And now these companies that offer these forward commitments, normally it's very affordable to get a block of money. You don't lose that much anymore. You do pay for it when you close, of course, but you're not putting out a bunch out. So I'm just saying a use as you choose incentive would be great if you want it as part of your promotion. The expiration date of it is really important. So something I put in my
it can't
white
just be
paper.
ongoing forever. There should be
No,
urgency with it.
you got to create urgency. So the first urgency is they're in love with your community, in love with your home, and it's a one of a kind, and you sit down and recap. But if that's not enough, we want a tipping point. Then you you have a promotion. Oh, by the way, not only do you love the home, but it's good. We have an incentive that's good for this. The expiration date, the one creative way to end an expiration is to have certain levels. So for the month of May, let's say we have 9 homes across the whole company. We have 3 at level 1, 3 at level 2, 3 at level 3, and so the incentive decreases from level to level. And it could be different if one company has townhomes for 300, single family for 500 and 800, well, that level 1 wouldn't be the same amount of money, but it's still level 1 that you only have 3 spots available, and you show a visual in the sales office of, look, we're having our special May incentive. We've only got 3 spots. Look, 2 of them are gone already. Let me call Kimberly and see if it's still available. Just different ways to mix it up to try to create excitement for the expiration of the incentive. The incentive doesn't normally create urgency. It's when it goes away. All right, that's my map. Marketing, check out your marketing, look at the appearance, fix it now, don't wait till later, and look at your pricing and promotion. It's got to be good pricing. If you have a promotion, really get behind it. And it might be a hybrid of something you publish as a little back pocket that you work with the sales team on. If I could, would you? If I could get you the so-and-so, would you go ahead? Let me put it together. I'll present it tonight and let you know kind of stuff. But you know that you're within your marketing parameters. Thank you for letting me share that.
That was a lot. Yes, it was great.
Well,
People are buying right now. They need to know how. They need to have a roadmap, and of course, they need to feel the value, because the uncertainty is, well, is our interest rates going to go down? I've heard this week. I heard 2 buyers came in. They were like, well, the interest rates are going to go back to 3%. No, they're not.
Did they say that really?
Yes.
Where are they getting that from? I'd like to know who's telling them that stuff. That's amazing.
Exactly. So you've got to have third-party approval, third-party things. So if you're not following an NAHB now, like the economic report. So Dr. Dietz does a fantastic job. Lawrence Young with the realtors puts out stuff. Elliot Eisenberg, like there's all this stuff.
Ellie Wolf is under.
It's right there, and it's third party. It's not you saying this is going to happen. This is what the experts are saying, and why. You can go to Fannie and Freddie. They are putting stuff out. There's a lot. Yes, sir.
We intended to about
You're raising your hand.
I'm raising my hand because we've got 5 minutes left, and I know we're keeping your webinars are always on time. People respect that. You had notes to talk about your CRM and follow up. I just wanted to share a story I heard yesterday from Tammy Souls, one of my favorite managers at Keystone Homes in North Carolina, and she did something old, which we've done before, but she's doing it every month now, which is she had a dial for dollars afternoon. She got her salespeople into the main office from 4 to 6 p.m. and they all contacted their warm leads, if you will. She got 22 appointments. This was only 2 weeks ago. One of them came in already on board, and she paid everybody some money for any appointment you made. You got money on the spot. I don't know that that's a violation of anything. I hope not. Okay, good. Hang on a second. And then any appointment that showed up, they got money, and any appointment that closed, they got even bigger money. And so the point being, in 2 hours, Tammy got 22 appointments. I think she's like 8 salespeople were on the phone dialing for dollars. So get in that CRM. There's gold in there, as we know, and you got to get in there and have a process to bring people back in the door. That's what
I'm telling you, right now, I'm seeing web traffic is actually okay. But actual taking action and coming in, filling out lead forms down. So temporarily, that's where, but sales are still hanging in there. Right. Most of them are buyers that were helped. They're the B's and the C's. They're the people who are ready and willing, but they can't, they're not able for some reason. We got to help them through that. Find a program, find solutions for these people. To just reach out and touch them appropriately, as Myers always said. Don't touch them appropriately, but touch them. Let them know you haven't forgotten about them and that you're here to help. Go that CRM. Like I'm telling you, I'm spending a lot of time building proper systems in the CRM for a builder right now. And it's amazing what we're uncovering. And as I'm going through it with the sales, I forgot about them. Oh, forgot. Right. So if you've got things set up, the CRM should help that from happening. But but salespeople, homes don't sell themselves. You make the difference, and people want to hear from you. We sometimes like, I don't want to bother. They want to hear from you. They want a solution from you.
The average looking time is 8 to 10 months, not 30 days. You might have met them at the end of their buying cycle. So anybody in your database more than 6 months, that's a good lead that you should be getting back into. So there was a question about an example of A for appearance. So things like, to answer that question, things like painting a room, adding
If
ceiling
you have white
fans,
walls,
fixing
that falls
things.
under that. Don't
Yeah,
have white
anything that,
walls.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, if that's your market, you're exactly right. So, things that would help get the home sold, fix it now. Don't wait for later.
Yes. But the when you're looking and you're mining for gold, just a little nugget, little script to use. Hi, you came in and visited me back in blah blah blah. I just wanted to reach out to you and see where are you in your goal of owning a new home?
That's a great
Any
question. I like
variations
that.
that really
Wow,
opens up the conversation. It
great
works
question.
super well. So and
Where are
again,
you? Yeah.
phones. All right, my millennials and my Z, we can actually call on these things. We don't
Well, you
just
can
have to
talk on the
text.
phone. I thought it was just
We
for
can
texting
talk on these
and
things. Yes.
Snapchat.
Yes,
Snapchat. I know
exactly.
you Snapchat. What's up? But
I
yeah,
don't know about you, but I feel like I need a nap now. We've covered so much. Um,
need a
let's
cigarette. I don't even
let's end
smoke.
on mindset though, because I think mindset is really the key to putting.
Yes.
We've given you a lot of tools, but you got to have that right mindset to doing it. So, Roland, leave us with one thought.
Well, first, I want to say thank you. Gratitude is my favorite attitude. I didn't thank you enough, Kimberly. You're putting the hard work in by having this webinar. So thank you for that. Yeah, my mindset thing would be embrace this market, be grateful for it, and learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then what's the point of it? And so don't worry about it. Just learn from it and grow.
Good, good. Yes. And I would say build on your successes, celebrate every success. If you
Yes.
had 3 people who came to your seminar, celebrate that because
Yeah.
that's going to give you that confidence to
I
move
love that.
forward and do the next thing. Look at
Yeah.
what you got, not what you're not getting. That's an
Yeah.
abundance
Celebrate.
mindset.
Yeah.
Celebrate those successes.
Definitely celebrate the appointment, celebrate the least of the sale, celebrate the phone calls that you made to get that appointment, celebrate those little victories and amplify those successes. All right.
And
Thank you
thank
so
you for
much.
all the chat. The chat's still going. Thank you to
Good.
all of you for spending an hour of your time. I know that's huge in this market today. And Roland and I both want to thank you for that. Thank you for joining us. I'll get the recording out to everybody. You missed something, you didn't get a note.
Sure.
We'll have it
Uh,
out in the video.
And that white paper will put my email or whatever to get, if they want the
It's all
white
going to be
paper, they can get
attached.
that. That's perfect. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kimberly. And thanks to all of you for tuning in.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Go sell something.